You're not doing it wrong. That's just what happens when you try to suppress something that exists for a reason. Today, I want to explain exactly why that happens, what your brain is actually doing, and what needs to happen instead. Hi, I'm John Hawkins Jr., a licensed psychotherapist and co-founder of Hawkins Counseling Center in Boynton Beach, Florida. This is video 2 in a series on why OCD isn't what people actually think it is, and why standard treatment misses what's actually driving it. If you haven't seen video 1, I'd start there, but this one does stand on its own. Here's what I want you to understand about OCD. It's not a glitch. It's a part of you that developed to protect another part of you. Somewhere, usually earlier in life, something happened that was way too much for your system. It could be obvious, or it could be the kind of thing that nobody would describe as a trauma. Chronic unpredictability, emotional neglect, a home where love felt conditional. Whatever it was, a part of your psyche split off and got frozen in time. And another part, the part that's generating your OCD symptoms, stepped in to make sure the frozen part stayed protected. That's what OCD is. It's a protector doing its job. Now I want you to imagine something. Let's say somebody you love is in danger and you see it happening. Every instinct you have is telling you to go help them. And somebody grabs you by the arm and says, "Stay here, don't go help them." Don't respond. What would happen? You wouldn't calm down. You'd get more desperate, more frantic, because the thing that's driving you to go help hasn't gone away. The person you love is still in danger. That's exactly what happens when you try to fight your OCD. The compulsions feel urgent because the part of you that's generating them is trying to protect something that's still hurting. When you try to suppress that, it doesn't feel safer. It feels more dangerous, so it pushes harder. This isn't just a metaphor. There's actually neuroscience behind this. The theory of structural dissociation tells us that trauma has to be processed from the bottom up, not from the top down. The brainstem reorganizes first through body sensations, then emotions, then and only then can you start to make sense of what happened. ERP works from the top down. It asks you to think differently, behave differently, override what you're feeling. But the part that's holding the trauma doesn't live in your thinking brain. It lives in your body and your nervous system. Whatever we cannot regulate, we will disassociate. And the OCD is the dissociative process, keeping that unregulated pain outside of your conscious awareness. You can't think your way out of a process that exists precisely because thinking was not enough. Let me tell you about somebody I worked with. I'll call her Maria. She had OCD symptoms around contamination. Hours of hand washing every day. She had done 2 rounds of ERP. The first round helped a little, then something stressful happened in her life, and everything came back worse than before. The second round of ERP made her feel like a failure. When Maria came to see me, the first thing that I told her, that the OCD coming back isn't evidence that you can't heal. It's evidence that what the OCD part is protecting never got resolved. When we slowed down and got curious about the part that was generating the contamination fears, not fighting it, just asking what it was ultimately afraid of, it took us somewhere ERP had never gone. The younger version of Maria had grown up in a home where she never felt safe, where she felt contaminated by what happened to her. The hand washing wasn't random. It was the child's attempt to wash away something that it felt like was on her. When we work with that, when that younger part finally got the help she needed, the OCD part began to actually step back. Not because we fought it, but because it didn't need to work so hard anymore. So what do you do instead of fighting it? You get curious about it. Not what is the OCD part doing, but what is it protecting? Don't chase the current form of it. The checking rituals, the intrusive thoughts, those are symptoms, they're not the root. The question to ask that part is, what is its ultimate fear if it doesn't do this thing? What would happen if the thing that it's protecting actually occurred? That question takes you somewhere completely different than ERP ever will. It takes you towards the part that needs healing. And when that part heals, the protective part can finally rest. If you've ever tried to fight your OCD part and it got worse, that experience was telling you something. Not that you can't heal, but that you were fighting in the wrong direction. The OCD isn't the problem, it's the solution to the problem that hasn't been resolved yet. Drop a comment if this resonated. Just tell me, does this describe your experience? Next video, I'm going deeper into what that unresolved part actually looks like and how we work with it. We offer a free consultation in the link below. I'm John Hawkins Jr., and I'll see you in the next video.